to have confidence in Hashem, to have bitachon in Hashem means that it's not that we wish something good will happen and therefore we have the confidence that it will therefore happen, but rather, whatever is happening, Hashem, that I have confidence that you, the Almighty, you, my Father in heaven, you are the one that knows all knowledge, you are the one that provides all good, you are the one that wants me to succeed, more than I even want me to succeed, and therefore whatever it is that you do, regardless of what that is, and regardless of what anybody thinks, regardless if that keeps me alive, or that removes me from the world, chas v'shalom, regardless if that is perceived as positive, regardless if it's perceived as negative, you are the one that knows, and I have the utmost confidence in you that whatever it is that's in front of me is the best. Not just good, the best. Meaning, there are an infinite amount of choices available to a Kadosh Baruch Hu, as far as to bring us from point A to point B that He wants us to get to. We are at point A. A Kadosh Baruch Hu wants us to be at point B. He can bring us there in any number of infinite ways that He has. We not always want to go to the same B He wants us to get to. But needless to say, we do want to move forward somewhere. Along the way, we may have a tragedy, like getting sick. We may have a tragedy, like an accident. We may have a loss, like money loss, or all types of losses. We may have some pain and some headaches and some all types of emotional issues, and so on and so forth, along the way. And somehow along the way, sometimes we change destination because we don't feel like we want that anymore, we want something else. And sometimes we change our destination a few times along the way, because when we were 13, 14, 15, and 16, we wanted to become psychiatrists. But then we remembered that when we were actually 12, we wanted to be football players. So we figured maybe we go for the football psychiatrist, or just be a psychiatrist to the football players. But then by the time you got to 18, you figured, let me just go make some money. And then by the time you were 25 and you made some money, you said, I can't stand this, I want to do something else. And you keep changing, your whole path keeps changing every so often, because the things you wanted then are not necessarily the things you want now, for different reasons. Either because you already got them and you don't want them, or because you just realize there's just something better for you. The point being is, your destination keeps changing. A Kadosh Baruch Hu's destination for you never changes. And the path that you're taking, based on your choices, is still always going to give you an opportunity to arrive at that destination. Now, for a Kadosh Baruch Hu to bring you from point A to point B is an infinite amount of ways. And whatever way He chooses, whether that is through turmoil, agony, pain, and suffering, or pleasure, beauty, acknowledgement, and honor, whatever it is, that choice is by far the best choice out of all of the choices that are available in His infinite world. Meaning, in our mind, we figure, listen, okay, I wanted to be in business, but Hashem wanted me to be in Torah. Why couldn't He have got me there in a different way? Why do I have to go through a surgery and agony and pain and embarrassment and all types of things? Why do I have to go through that? Why couldn't He just send me like some rabbi to come to my office, spark my Neshama, wake me up, and tell me, hey, wake up, learn some Torah while you trade some stocks. That's it. Well, guess what? That wasn't available. What do you mean it wasn't available? Why couldn't He do it? It's not that He couldn't do it. Out of all of the choices that are in His infinite world, my actions and actions alone decreed what of those choices are available to me. He has all of the choices, but my actions make Him choose certain things that become available to me. When you have an aspiration to, let's say, buy a plane, you want to buy a plane. And you're saying, I'm going to work my whole life to go one day and buy a plane. But along the way, you decide that, okay, I'm going to try to be a salesman or a doctor or a lawyer or something, a professional expert or engineer or in software or something, and go make a bunch of money. And you're on your way and you're working at some company, or you start your own shop and you start doing things, and you're on your way to making it. You start making 100, 500, a million. You're on your way to making it. But then you figure out, you know what? I also like drugs. You know what? So let me snort a couple of lines while I'm on my way to buying a plane. Well, guess what? The second you start doing that, the choices available to you decrease. Why? Because now you have a habit, you have an act that you do in your life that hurts your path. Now along with the drugs come all types of other immorality and filth. So that adds to the cost. And on top of that comes life risk in general. And on top of that comes the fact that no one's really going to pass you in a plane school, and flying school, and so on and so forth. So even though you're working and you're doing whatever you're doing, little by little you realize, wait a minute, I was going on a trajectory up, and all of a sudden I crashed, and now out of all of the planes that are available to me after 25, 30 years of working, the only available plane to me is the one that I can buy in a toy store for $5.99. Because I've lost all of my money, I've lost my sanity, I can't fly anything. So surely you had a plane on your trajectory, on your radar, and it was a possibility for you. But your actions changed which plane it is. Initially, when you first started your path, it could have been anything. It could have been a 777. You could have bought an Air Force jet or something from the Army, because you were 18 years old with a great brain and everything. And within a certain amount of time, you could have probably bought one. But because you made certain choices, that choice disappeared and it was replaced by a smaller plane. Continued making those choices, that choice gone, smaller. That choice gone, smaller, 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 smaller. Which means that if you're still getting that $5.99 plane 25 years later, you still have to be happy. Why? That's the best choice you have available to you. The reality is that having Bitachon in Hashem, having confidence in Hashem, is understanding clearly that everything you have in front of you currently is the best available to you. Can that change over time? Sure. But that's only going to change based on actions, not based on mantras, repeating the same thing over and over again, or smashing your head against the wall, or saying, It's not going to do anything other than just make Hashem upset at you for just making stupid sounds all day like a cow. The reality is that we were brought up to believe a mistake. That we are in charge of our destiny without doing anything about it. That we could just wish things to happen. Because a couple of times we wish things to happen and they happen, so we figured that's the way it works. Wrong. The most important understanding when it comes to Bitachon, the Chazon Ish says, is one of the principles of fate, which is that there is reward and there is punishment. And he elaborates here, saying that the belief that nothing happens by chance and that everything occurs under the sun is a result of a decree from heaven. The Gemara says in Masechet Chulin that there is not a single finger pricked by a needle without there being a decree from the Bet Din of heaven. Meaning, some person decides to saw, decides to screw something, decides to hammer something. The Bet Din of heaven organizes themselves. Say, hold on a second, Reuven over there is sewing something. He is knitting something. He's hammering something. Let's see it as a count. Because right now it's a moment of risk. It's a moment of danger. It may not necessarily be a life danger, but it is a danger. He is in that moment. Let's evaluate his account. And the Beit Din reviews the book real time at a place with no time. And says, oh, Reuven deserves to prick his finger with the needle. He deserves to smash his finger with the hammer. Why? Shh. Here's the account. Here's the bill. We have two options available. One option, 30 years in Gehenom. Another option, smash his finger with the hammer. Hashem says, I love my son. Get him out of Gehenom. Smash his finger instead. Why? The finger's going to hurt for a little bit. Maybe his nail will have to come off. But, more or less, he's back to normal. Gehenom 30 years, he's traumatized forever. Smash his finger. I love my kid. Beit Din of heaven says, that's the deen. Tach! On his finger. Oh, Hashem, why'd you do this to me? And Hashem is crying and Shemayim says, my son, if you only knew. If you only knew what option you had, based on the actions you made. You had some actions. You said this, and you said that, and you did this, and you did that. All of those things were on the bad list, and there was payment. And the Beit Din said, listen, Hashem, you got, out of all of the options, two are available now. This one or that one. HaKadosh Baruch Hu in His mercy said, no, he's doing tshuva, he's a good kid. Just smash his finger a little bit. Bitachon in Hashem is thanking HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the good and the bad the same way. Why? There is no bad. That's Bitachon in Hashem.